Good call, Sergeant Payne. All right, so my name is Staff Sergeant Boktor. I'm with the Roseville Recruiting Center out of the Minneapolis Battalion. And today we're just going to be doing a little bit of NCOPD prospecting with Craigslist. So you might have used it before and not been very successful, and that's what we're going to try to do here, is show you different ways and different opportunities and different approaches to make it successful for you. Or you might have used it and been successful, and I'm definitely going to be looking for your input throughout this, quick NCOPD, so we can make sure that we're getting everybody's view on this. So I've used it for about 3 years now. I've been tremendously successful with it. At first it was a little rough. Okay. So I'm still getting the hang of it. So yeah, feel free to make sure you hashtag throughout the entire time NCOPD, and it's going to pop up on my little thing right here. You're going to see me switching back and forth just so I can make sure that I do answer your questions throughout the entire time. So we're going to quit messing around and we're going to jump right into this. Okay, so that's who I am. I already went over all that fun stuff. This is our overview. You guys can read, no big deal. All right, so why we use Craigslist. So these are going to be the reasons, why you're going to sell Craigslist to either your center commander or your first sergeant, whoever it's going to be. Because it is kind of tricky at first because you're doing something that you're preached not to do, and that's selling specific jobs. However, I'm going to jump into that later about how we dance around that. All right, so first things first, you're going in your target market. This is going for specific people who want specific jobs. So this is not, you're going to post on there, hey, join the Army, we got 150 different jobs, we're going to pay your bills, you can live somewhere for free, and we're going to pay medical bills. That is not what this does. This is target market. Hey, I am posting for military police because I want everybody who's interested in being a cop to make sure that they know they have this extra, this other opportunity available to them. Expanding your market and your influence. This is going to be especially good for those people who have large areas. For me in the metro, it's awesome because, I have a lot of colleges around here and a lot of people who, we've all ran into them. 4 years of college, $60,000 in debt, working at McDonald's. But for those people who work in large areas, this is another way to kind of make sure that you are spreading your influence throughout that entire area without having to give a lot of, windshield time, driving forever and all that kind of stuff. The biggest thing you're going to see is resumes. So people are going to send you a ton of resumes, which is good. You use that to your advantage. Normally we don't need your resume. We don't really care. We're going to see if you're qualified. If you are, we're going to make sure you put you on all that kind of fun stuff. However, it works awesome for pre-qual. So you make sure you jump in there, read everything about them, and make sure that find out what they went to college for. Basically, you're going to get some blueprint information. You're pre-qualifying. And that's how you're going to make sure that you spin your sell, you're selling it correctly to this individual. Quality contracts. Like I told everybody last time, I think it was about 28 contracts I pulled off Craigslist in 1 year. 6 of those were OCS, a couple special missions, and a large amount of those were all alphas. I hardly pull any Bravos off of Craigslist. Not saying that they're not going to come through. I'm just saying if they enlist, they're probably alphas because you're going to get a lot of people coming your time. They're coming your way that aren't qualified. So it's good on that part, and it's going to save your time. It does take a little bit of time once you really do get into Craigslist. But on the flip side, I know I have to work every Monday. I got to spend at least an hour or two going over all my ads and all that kind of stuff. But that hour or two that I do on Monday is going to lead me anywhere from 1 to 5 appointments for that week. All right, now you're going to get into the good stuff. How to build your ad. So picking a job. You want to make sure that you are picking a job that is common or that will gain interest in the Army. All right, so when you're doing that, you don't want to put on there firefighter, horrible thing to put on there, or veteran. Those are hard things to do. And the reason you're not gonna do that is because when you get people in off of Craigslist, like military, my best one, huge hitter for me. I have, I don't know how many. I've probably, maybe 50, 60 appointments off military police since I've been doing this. And I've yet to put in a military police soldier. I've never put in a 31 Bravo. And the reason I'm able to do that is because I get them in here, I get them interested in the job, and then I sell them everything else. You come in here, oh, so you want to be a cop? Why do you want to be a cop? All right, well, okay, cool. Did you know that we have all these other jobs? Oh, no, I didn't know that. I'm not really interested. Okay, that's fine. Well, we'll get you in here, and we'll make sure we do all this kind of stuff. You get them really sold on the Army and doing that, and then like, hey, are you planning on going to college? Yeah, I am. Cool. Why don't you go for criminal justice? It's like everybody else out there going for who wants to be a cop. But on the flip side, why don't you use the military to expand yourself? Make yourself more valuable, a more well-rounded person in the civilian world. Why don't you go for the medical field? This way you're a first responder. You have your degree like everybody else. You have veterans preference. Or intelligence, now you're opening yourself up to different opportunities, and whatever other kind of job you interested in, make sure you're selling them on multiple things, but especially the Army at the end of the day. This way you don't find yourself like I used to. I get somebody sold on a job, well now they're a 31 and they want to be intelligence, and I basically, let's say this, I basically, I'm not going to get that contract because they're just not going to get what they want. So you got to make sure you avoid that. And this all ties into number 2. So number 3, when you're bad, you want to support your reserve unit. You're wondering, how do I get in there? How do I make myself, how do I get them to help me out at the time? Well, this is your way to give so you can get. Go in there, talk to the UAs or the first sergeant, whoever you want to talk to. Find out what jobs they're really pushing for. And cool, take those jobs, throw a couple ads up on Craigslist. As soon as they come up, and people are interested, you can give them the POC so they can talk directly to them. You can bring them in the office, interview them, call the unit up, bring them to the unit yourself, whatever you want to do. But this way, you're just going to be building rapport everywhere, and you're really going to be helping yourself out. Okay, building your main body. So everything I pull off is straight off GoArmy.com. With my own personal MO, before I was able to throw a couple different things in there, like I know some of the specific training that we're doing, so I made sure I throw some of that stuff just to spice it up a little bit, get people interested. You can do that with yours, or you can just leave it straight off GoArmy.com. So just a summary and a brief explanation of the duties and assignments. Next, you're going to put on the training. The training is very important to people. That's always one of the first things that comes out, like, hey, where's the training? Do I have to pay for it? Am I getting paid? All that kind of stuff. How long is it going to be? Number 3 is related civilian jobs. Over here in the metro, everybody's like, hey, what can the Army do for me? Well, hey, that's fine. I know people hate to hear that as recruiters, but that's just the way it is over here. This isn't not what you're, this is how is the Army going to help make them more successful. So you tell them, like, hey, you can go be top after this, or you can go work for the government, doing this, or whatever you got to say that is key to what they're looking to. And then the pays. You can throw pays on there. I normally don't, but it's one thing that's been successful for other people. So this is what your main ad's going to look like. So you can see at the very top, I just have a little bit of information on the human intelligence. This is another one of my big hitters. I have the training in there, and then a little bit about the assignment, things like that, and then related civilian jobs right there at the bottom. The next thing you're going to put is incentives and benefits. I do not put the pay on there because for a lot of people, the pay is going to look like they're taking a pay cut. So I don't put that on there until I can actually either talk to them in person or over the phone. I can explain it a little bit better about how we're going to pay for all this stuff. So College, I definitely throw in the transfer credits. I throw in all the college money, all that kind of stuff. The student loan repayment, cash bonus, whatever the maximum is, I'll throw up there, you know, up to this amount. Medical and dental, throw that stuff up, and then find out what drives your local community. Here we are we're a grad market. So full-time job, a lot of people looking to go back to duty, and if they're going to go because they want this on their contract or they want this on the resume, student loan repayment is a huge, huge hitter down here. And this is what it's going to look like. So this might be a little outdated because this is kind of an old one, but you can kind of get the gist of what it is. It's very basic, a lot of up tos and kind of vague with how this stuff works. It's just amounts. And then your pre-qual. You can do Apple's MBT. I keep it pretty simple because I want to make sure that people are at least calling me. I don't want them to disqualify themselves. So you can see I have age, law, med, citizenship, education. You know, under the law violations and the medical issues, I know it's stupid, but I try to throw up the worst case scenario because, like I said, I don't want people DQing themselves before I do, because they don't know what waiver they have or if it's actually going to DQ them or not. Leave that up to us. However, if you don't put that stuff up there, you're going to have those people calling, you know, hey, I have 2 sexual misconducts, or, you know, I have a domestic, and we just got to know that, you know, they got to know that we can't work those harsher cases. Okay, and then your information. So this is just what I specifically put up. You don't have to do it this way. I would say the most important thing you're going to put on there is your cell phone number. People are going to call you, and the majority of the time they call you or text you. They're going to text you like crazy. It's going to be after 5 o'clock. Me personally, I'm a huge push. You know, if they're calling you, you should probably try to answer right then. So if you want to leave this for your single soldiers, or somebody who doesn't have a life, or somebody who's really, you know, work-driven, you know, whatever it is, my 2 cents is to make sure that this is a full-time job for somebody, and they're going to reap the rewards there. And if you don't have a Facebook or Twitter, like 2014, this is what people do. It's Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, text. You got to get all of them. You know, if you're not, you're losing a big thing right there. Now, once you go to post your ad, so this is kind of self-explanatory. So I'm up here in Minnesota. Now, one thing you're going to run into for some people here in Minneapolis, I cannot post an ad unless I do it for $25 each. So my way around that is, well, I post everywhere else around here. So I know I can't post in Minneapolis. I'm not going to pay $300 bucks. So what I'll do is I'll go to like Mankato here. And so I'll hit that one. You go over to jobs. You click whatever job, it doesn't matter. And once you hit post up in the right-hand corner, it's going to bring you to this screen, job offered. I will abide. And then here's where you're actually going to pick where you want to put a job at. So for here, I put government. So this is what it's going to look like. You're going to make sure you fill in your whatever email address you're going to use. Make sure you put to show my real email address so you don't get one of those crazy Craigslist ones. Right below that, users can contact me by phone or by text or both. And then you can either, whatever phone number you want to put. If you want to put the office one or your cell phone one, and then contact name. Some people they're intimidated by the Army, so you don't have to put staff sergeant because you're going to get a lot of those people, or you can do it. So basically, what I'm doing here now, once I post outside my area, yeah, you're going to get some people from that area, you know, contact me. However, the thing you are going to see is nobody else wants to pay $25 an ad. So a lot of people are doing the same thing. And what ends up happening, I can show you here if I have it up. Let's pull it up real quick so I can show you. So what will end up happening is, like, here you see, you know, you got however many ads. Yeah, I was creeping on the door. It's okay. I'll let you know my competition. Well, right at the bottom, or right in the middle now, you'll see few local results found. Here are some nearby areas. And now what those are doing, as you can see, I have posted everywhere around here, is this is going to go directly into the outside cities. So all these people here, you know, like the guard's paying $25 an ad. Well, I have all these ads right up here for completely free. No big deal. So that is how you get around that one. Okay, so back to this. So here I'll put posting title. I try to leave anything out about the military, because in this area, they hear Army or whatever, they are done. They don't want to know anything about it. So I leave that completely out of there. Specific location and postal code, I will always leave those off, because what ends up happening is I'll put in Roseville, Minnesota. Well, now I have people contacting me. Hey, I see there's a job in Roseville. No, it's actually not in Roseville, what it is. And then they already have this in their head that this is where they're going to go, and then they are automatically turned off. And I lost a lot of appointments like that at first. So I completely leave that off, because I'll have my contact information where it's going to stay where I'm at. Towards the bottom, the middle of the bottom, you'll see compensation. That's where it's going to want you to be as detailed as possible about the pay. I put nothing in the pay. I'll put ... for the reasons I already said. Same with the show on the maps. Now at the very bottom, it depends on what kind of ad you're putting up. I'll always put telecommuting okay and contract. If you're looking for reserve only, you can throw the part-time on there, or do whatever you want to do. Just done. And then it's going to pop up with this. So you're just going to hit the top right, publish, and then it's going to send you an email. Sometimes it's going to be like, hey, we need to verify you, so it's going to be like, it's going to tell you to give your phone number. It'll give you a text. You put the number in there, no big deal. So once you get this email, you're going to just go ahead and click on that URL, and it's going to bring you up to this, terms of use. Read them all, whatever you got to do, and then accept. And bam, it's posted. So now you have your first ad posted, and you should be rocking and rolling within the day. Maintaining and refining your ad. Okay, so with these, you'll notice, like, if you're in an area where it is free to post, there's going to be a lot of people posting. And so quickly your ad is going to go to the very bottom, and then it's going to disappear to the second page, the third page, or whatever it is. What you can do is about once every week, so like I was saying, for me it's every Monday, you can go back into this URL, and it's going to have this right here. This one I did right away, so it doesn't actually have it. But above edit this post, it'll have another tab where it's going to say renew this post. And what it'll do is it'll put your ad all the way to the top, so you don't have to worry about that. So if if new business rules came out, whatever it is, and you need to edit your post, you just click in there, edit, and it'll bring you right back to this screen right here. So let me make sure I don't have any questions real quick. Okay, there we go. Tips and tricks. These are just going to be my lessons learned. All right, so keep your ads vague yet informative to generate interest. The worst thing you can do is have a complete interview and all the information on your ad and generate no interest at all, because you're going to lose a lot of people, or they're going to think they know everything and feel like they don't need to contact you. Use all your resources to communicate. I already hit up on that. Update and renew your ads constantly. Renewing is very important. You want to make sure that your ad is the first one that they're seeing, or the best one. And updating is just as important. You got to make sure that you keep factual information there, because the guard will go in there, and if anything's wrong, they'll flag you, and you're going to have to go through this whole process again to get your ad back up. And if you're rocking anywhere from 20 to 30 ads like I am at a time, and they're just in there flagging everything, it becomes a huge bother trying to go back in there. Organization is key. So those are just a little bit about my numbers that I had within that 6-month period, especially with the emails, because you are going to get a lot of spam coming through. Just delete that right away. But anybody specifically that emails you, I will try to talk to as many of them over the phone as possible, even if they're disqualified. Because just like everything in the Army, or in recruiting, if you're filling them, if you're giving them all the information and they know absolutely everything about it before the end of the conversation's done, and they get a good feeling with you and you build a rapport, even if they're disqualified, one more person who probably knows somebody else who could use the Army. So I'll talk to everybody. There's nobody that's a waste of my time when it comes to recruiting. And then post as much as possible with a variety of jobs. For me in my area, because I have to post in different cities, I'll always put my 3 big hitters up first. Once I do that, I'll automatically go to my reserve unit. What do they need? And then once I'm done with that, then I'll throw up a lot of the other jobs. And like I said, you got to make it pop up frequently. Don't put firefighter, veterinarian, all that kind of stuff on there, or you're going to have a lot of people that are disappointed. Never ignore contact. I already went over that. Always be professional. You don't know who's going to be on here, so make sure that you are being professional all the time. I know people have gotten in trouble with this and other things, so you really got to be careful. Sell being well-rounded. That is going to be the biggest thing when it comes to Craigslist. Most of the reason why people are going to fail at this is because they're going to get somebody interested in a job and all of a sudden they don't qualify for it or the job's not available. So you need to sell being well-rounded. Like I was stating earlier, go to school to be, for law enforcement. That's awesome. Do what everybody else is doing. But join the Army to do something different. Make yourself more valuable out there. And the very bottom one, I already went over that. So jumping back real quick before I forget, if you're in a center like mine, where I have to post outside the city, the best thing you can do is you need to contact those center commanders in the cities that you're going to be posting in, and you need to let them know what you're doing. I know I had a couple first sergeants ready to kill me because they thought I was recruiting in their area, which technically I was, but everybody that was contacting me lived here in the cities, so I wasn't actively recruiting out of their area. But the thing that I wasn't doing at first is all I would say is like, hey, I'm outside you're outside my limit. Go ahead and just Google a recruiting center in your area, which is fine. But you can make it way better. You can find the CC in Duluth. Like for me, I had Doopy Hopscotch. I'm sure y'all know him. And I just let him know today because I'm jumping back on this. And I let him know what I was doing and that I'm more than happy to pre-qualify all these people. And as soon as they're pre-qualified and good to go, I'm going to send them right up to him. Because what you're doing is you're helping your battle buddy out. You're making sure that if a first sergeant does see this, somebody has your back. Hey, he already contacted me about this. And at the same time, if they're going to put up Craigslist ads in their area, chances are they're probably going to get people from your area, so they're going to know who they should be sending people to from the city. So it goes both ways. And that is basically all I got. We'll go to questions, which I don't think we had any. Okay, no questions. Let me jump on Facebook here real quick. Okay, yeah, so I don't have any questions at the time. But you guys are always more than welcome. Add me on Facebook, Adam Boktor Sr., B-O-K-T-O-R. I think it's right here. So go ahead and add me right there. And then feel free to ask me any questions. So I have a ton of ads already built. If you see, you go talk to your reserve unit and they have a job that I don't have built and you're not quite sure how to set it up, feel free to contact me. We'll build it together. I'll show you what to do, so this way you can make sure that you know what to do in case you can't get a hold of me, or you can help another center out. I'm also more than happy to give this brief again. I know I did it for my battalion. If your battalion or company or whoever wants me to brief them, I'm more than happy. Just get a hold of me and we can set something up like this. And then last but not least, we're looking for more people to do this kind of stuff. So it's a little intimidating at first, but all it is just, sitting in my kitchen, just wearing whatever I want. So if you have a class or you just have some information that you want to push out to the rest of us, please do. Let us know, let one of the admins know. We'll set something up like this. And I would like to at least have, I'd like to do this at least once a week. That's one of the biggest things I've noticed about our forum is we do things like this. A lot of the other forums in the military don't do. So let's keep this an ongoing thing. Other than that, just go ahead and make sure you contact me. I'll upload all this stuff, and we'll be ready to rock and roll on Craigslist for you. All right, hope everybody had a